drop in the NFL. Do you have any thoughts about it, or if that kind of affects the way that you approach tackling in a general sense?
No, not really. You know, if it's like an angle tackle, I usually just like dive through their hip board, so it won't really affect me. But I know like some kids on the team are big like hip droppers, you know. But at the end of the day, it's just trying to keep the players healthy. So.
How does a tackler get advantage by doing that kind of thing? Like there's obvious reason why they're outlawed as the NFL. Is there a reason why? Do you think?
Honestly, I have no idea. Really.
Coach,
What was you guys did well Saturday in the scrimmage? What led you guys win the scrimmage?
Well, I think really like as a defense, you know, we were really playing downhill. You know, we were attacking the ball. You know, if the ball was in the air, we were saying it was ours. You know, so. There was a lot of passes, you know, not very much run, but, you know, every time the ball was in the air, our DBs were going to get it, and every time they put the ball on the ground, we were, you know, trying to get a forced fumble and everything. So we were really creating a lot of turnovers. Everybody was getting downhill, and everybody was doing their thing.
what do you feel like you did well individually on Saturday?
Individual is really just, you know, I'm playing a spot I played in high school, but like never at this level. So really just, you know, playing that new spot, getting downhill, you know. Manny likes to yell at me because I cross over on every motion, so you know I fixed that, shuffled, you know, really just playing downhill, attacking the ball, not stuttering my feet on a tackle, just running through and taking my shots.
That was the mic spot?
Yes, sir.
How was the game slowed down for you so far? I mean, being at the mic, you got to not only play fast, but you got to coordinate the people you're offing, the quarterback, and the defense. How have you seen things get easier for you, at least in some of these practices?
Really, it's just watching a lot of film. You know, being with Manny in the film room, it makes it a lot easier. You know, he's navigating me through, like, if the running back's here, you know, a lot of tendencies go into, like, what I think in my head. And also, I called Savasier Dennis the other day, you know, and he gave me a whole, like, note sheet of, like, what he would look at, you know, what he still looks to this day, you know, in the NFL. So that really helped me a lot to slow the game down and think.
What was that conversation like? And do you guys talk often?
We talk every once in a while, you know, but it was actually a really good conversation. It was one Saturday I was just sitting in here watching film, and I was actually watching his reps from his senior year, you know, just trying to navigate what he's done, because obviously he's great at what he does. And, you know, I texted him at first, and then he called me, and we just went through, like, you know, a couple of his reps, and he said, like, what he was thinking, like, what he was anticipating because of how much film he watched. You know, he told me to do a lot of, like, formation recognition, you know, like, pick up on a lot of their like O-line tendencies, running back tendencies, and stuff like that. You know, to really slow down the game, and so you know what's going on before everybody else does.
You can hear from coaches, but what's the value to you to hear that from someone like him?
It's you know, he's like one of my favorite players to watch. So to hear that from a guy that that's like a role model to me is very big.
Braylan, obviously last year you got a lot of starts, a lot of playing time as a true freshman. Coming into true practice this year, how has your mind changed coming into just practice overall, being a team?
Really, you know, it's like last year I was just trying to prove to them that, you know, I could play as a true freshman, and now, you know, I'm trying to prove myself as a starter, you know, not so much as a rotate guy. So really, I'm just every practice, keep my head down, stacking each day, you know, just trying to be better each day.
You like the thinking part of playing middle linebacker, all the intellectual things you have to go through?
Yeah, definitely, because, you know, in high school, I was really just playing football, you know, not too much thinking about what was going on. And to now to really see, like, what really goes into the game, you know, really think of, like, the mind of a defense coordinator, also an offense coordinator. You know, it's great because, like, I watch football now, and I can see, like, I see why they did that, or I see why he did this, you know, things like that. So it's honestly very helpful.
How's Brandon been like a guy who's been here forever and been that guy?
Really, he took me under his wing, like, as soon as I got here. You know, when I first got here, it was like every day it was me and him in the film room, you know, going over formations, going over plays and stuff like that. You know, he's a really great guy to be behind. You know, he's always got a smile on his face, and he's always trying to help everybody. You know, even with Jeremiah being a new guy, you know what I'm saying? He's always there to help. He's always one call away.
I know you get to see them in practice often, but when you're facing an offense that's learning a new system, does that present a unique challenge in a scrimmage setting for a defense?
A little bit, I say, because, you know, we come from, a more run-heavy offense to now they're throwing the ball all the time. But, you kind of get used to it because I think we had 6 practices before that. So you kind of pick up on things that they're doing, to be able to have film on that, have film on his year from last year at Western Carolina. It's very helpful. I've been watching that to try to pick up on some things.
What have you picked up on from that offense?
Really like it's their motions. He does a lot of motions to try to mess us up, and then also the T flop. You know what I'm saying? If the running back squares his shoulders up, he's gone. But if he's just doing this, it's just a flop. That's something we got to pick up on, especially with a lot of their screens.
Anything else for Braylan?
Yeah, Braylan, you guys had there's about like 8 defensive guys in your recruiting class last year, and there's like the 3 linebackers you guys all played last year. We hear a lot about Jesse and Cruz. Do you kind of have a feeling that class is creating kind of a foundation? You know what I mean? I mean, you're all still young guys, but it seems like you're all really in the mix for like 2 deep in starting jobs.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're gonna turn Pittsburgh around. We're gonna bring ACC to this. I believe our group is like one of the best recruiting groups to come to Pitt, and I believe that we're gonna bring ACC.
So, Braylan, based on the motions and everything that you mentioned with this new offense, how do you feel the communication is on the defensive side as a unit?
I believe we're doing very well. We're calling things out before it even happens. So like that's also a big thing. So we're not trying to rush the communication. Like if we see running backs' eyes, or even linemen, what I'm saying, we're already calling it out before it's happening, so that we're not rushing communication and people are getting confused. We're all locked in before it even